Hey there, it's Michelle here, and I'm inviting you to wake up and live. Today we are doing part 6 of a 6-part creation series, Create What You Want. And if you haven't watched the other videos, if you haven't watched all of them, I will be linking the playlist somewhere up here. I'm not sure which side it goes on, but somewhere up there will be the playlist that you can go and watch so that you don't miss anything. So now here we are at the 6th part. We actually have gotten to a place where we're starting to receive. We've become one with what we want and we are getting it. So what happens then? This is when we hit what's called an upper limit and we freak out. We start sabotaging things. For whatever reason, we freak out because, oh my gosh, I just met the man of my dreams. Oh my gosh, I started getting money. Oh my gosh, I'm actually letting go of the weight. Oh my gosh, this is starting to happen. And we kind of freak out. Oh, darn, what happens? What do you do about that? Well, I have a couple of things that I'm going to talk about. The first I'm going to talk about is the four major fears that Gay Hendricks talks about that creates this. Now, I've actually heard of a couple of another person who had 3 fears that made sense as well. But I'm going to talk about Gay Hendricks's. So the first one that will keep you from shining, because that's what an upper limit problem is. It's like, oh, I got here. I can't shine anymore. So it's preventing you from shining. It's preventing you from living your life to the fullest. The first one is believing that there is something integrally at the core of you wrong. Whether you're broken or whatever. If you shine bright, then somebody will see that. That is your big fear, is that, or that you can't even shine bright because there is something wrong with you. So you will have that kind of, so if you have that, you will have a lot of beliefs around those kind of things. And those would be the things to look at and to heal and to recognize that awareness is half the battle. So if you recognize that you're doing this, then that's awesome, because then you can do something about it. So another one is about rejection or abandonment. That if you get what you want, you will be rejected or abandoned by somebody, or that you will end up abandoning or rejecting somebody. That's a big one for me. I've experienced both of those two. Rejection and abandonment was actually bigger than the first one. Now, the third one is not one that I fully relate with. And that's the thing, is you are going to have 1 or 2 and possibly 3 that you're going to relate with really well. And then the fourth one will be kind of like, I don't really get it. That's where I'm at with this one. And this one is about being a burden, whether you will become a burden to somebody because you get what you want, or you will have a burden placed on you because you get what you want. So if you resonate with that one, that's where your fears and beliefs will come around. And then the last one, this one is a really big one for me as well. This is the fear of outshining. That, and to me, it's kind of actually on top of the rejection and abandonment one. Like, if I actually outshine, then I will get rejected, or reject somebody or abandon somebody. There's a little bit of it. Sometimes that can intermix together. The other thing is that if I outshine somebody, then somebody else is going to feel hurt. That is like something that is really a big deal for me. I've held myself back my entire life because I knew how to read when I was 3, and I was compared to my brother, and I didn't want my brother to feel bad because I knew how to read, and so I held myself back because we both tested as geniuses, and I didn't want him to feel bad, so I actually stopped using my genius in a lot of ways. I chose to use my genius in ways that he wasn't interested in, so that I wouldn't outshine him. In my marriage, I quit playing the piano, and I quit doing a lot of things that I loved. I quit writing music because I married a guy that plays the piano and he writes music, and I attracted somebody who was actually pretty insecure about it at the time. He probably was running off of the belief that there was something integrally wrong with him. He couldn't even recognize all of his talents. So if we ever got in a talent discussion, he would talk about how talented I was. And he would talk about how he felt because he didn't have all those talents. And I'm like, you have tons of talents. He really is a talented person. And he writes music and he plays the piano, and we had some interesting dynamics because of that. And I would make myself smaller and smaller and smaller because I didn't want him to feel bad. And I have done that in every area of my life. And that's one of my big ones. That's one of my really big ones, is fear of outshining somebody because I don't want them to feel bad, or because maybe I created something because of it. Like, there's just a big fear there. Okay, so those are kind of the 4 basic fears. And like I said, you can have them layered on top of each other. And so let's talk about ways to eliminate them. First of all, awareness is a huge, huge factor. So awareness that you are sabotaging yourself. And it's not even necessarily something that you do. Sometimes it is. For me, I can lose motivation. I can get myself sidetracked with a lot of things. A lot of single moms, when they're dating, they will have something come up with their kids that now takes, instead of being focused on the relationship, it's like, oh my gosh, this big disaster came with my kids, and now I've got to focus on my kids. So that's something that got created from their energy, but wasn't like so directly, like a lot of people wouldn't even recognize that they actually created that as a way to sabotage themselves. You can create car accidents. You can create illnesses. I got really sick, which stopped me from doing something important to me that I was really loving, because I was getting too big. I was getting too much of what I wanted, and so I was sabotaging myself. And so we have lots of ways I can do things to push guys away. I'm really good at attracting certain kinds of guys. And when I started attracting a different kind of guy that actually had the qualities I wanted, it freaked me out. And so I stirred up a lot of stuff with that one. So awareness is the first step. Being aware and recognize, oh, this is an upper limit problem. Again, that's something that comes from Gay Hendricks in the book, The Big Leap. This book I highly recommend to people. If you want to shine, live out loud, achieve your goals or intentions. If you are not a goal setter, I don't set goals, I set intentions. So then, now that you're aware, you can use, I have a person, she called it M.E.A.L.S plan. So what it is, and I've also seen other words for it, but you have this area that's mental. These are the things that you think, what you think. So it's M for mental. That's why it's M.E.A.L.S. M for mental, what you think creates your emotions or feelings. And that's where the E comes in. So M-E. And then your emotions create your action. This is where you can react, or what's the other word for that? It's like where you actually choose your choices instead of reacting. I don't remember the word for it right now. Anyway, actions is A, so it's M-E-A, and then life results. That's where the L comes in, because R doesn't work as well there. But your results. So your actions create your results. Results either create or support your story, which is really just your beliefs. So that's where your S comes in, is your story. So you've got M-E-A-L-S, your mental, your emotional, your actions, your life results, and your story, which is your beliefs. So you have this cycle. And here's the great thing. It doesn't matter which kind of a person you are. You can change the cycle. For some people, they are an action person. So they will recreate the actions. And they'll be like, oh, I usually choose this when I'm feeling this way, but I'm going to choose different this time. And they will take a step doing a new action, and that will create a new result, and which will help create a new story, which will help create new thoughts, which will create new emotions, which when you come back around to the actions, it becomes easier to take those actions. So they take them again, and they keep moving around until they get bigger and bigger, and their limit gets pushed out. So that's one way. And some people are really good at this. I'm not. Your emotions. Let's work our way back. Okay, so your emotions. You can change your emotions. There's a lot of energy healing work that is based around emotions and clearing the emotions. And the emotions, if you have a new emotion there, if you embrace your emotions and you feel your emotions, so when you get really angry, instead of acting on them, you take a moment, and which is a new action, but you feel your emotions so that they or you do energy work. The emotion code is a great one for releasing the emotions, and then a new action just automatically comes because that emotion that triggered it is no longer there. And so you have a new action that follows, and then your new action will create the new results, new story, new thoughts, etc. Okay, so moving our way back, because we've got actions, we've got emotions, now we've got the mental processes. This is our thoughts. This is where people do all the work with the monkey mind. This is where people do affirmations, and they do thought therapy, and like there's just a lot of thought stuff. This is about working in your mental mind, and some people this is an important place for them to work. And as they change their mental thoughts, they'll have new emotions. New emotions create new reactions create a new life result. New life result creates a new story, and then when they come back around, those thoughts actually become easier, and so they keep going around. This one is not one that I prefer to work on either. I find it very slow process for me, as well as actions is a slow process for me. And emotions I kind of work on. But anyway, this is me. But if you are a person who resonates with one of these, go with it. Go with what works for you. Go with what is easiest for you to change somewhere in the cycle. The story is my favorite place to work. This is where you can do, like if you do belief breakthroughs, you're going to go back and you're going to change the story that creates it. This is where a lot of energy work comes in, is just to go back and to eliminate some of the stuff that creates the story. And therefore, this is where you go back in and you neutralize your beliefs or your memories that created this. So you could even call it a memory place. This is one of my favorite areas to work on because it makes everything else so easy. Because when you neutralized that memory and those beliefs and instilled a new belief at a very core level, that you've created a new story for yourself, you have new thoughts. You don't even have to try. They just come. You have new emotions. You don't even have to try. It just is. You automatically do new actions. It's not even anything that you have to. It's just you notice. You're like, oh, hey, I did things totally different that time. Wow, I actually made a phone call and it didn't scare me. Cool. You have new actions, and then you get new life results, and then which supports the new story, which then creates the cycle all over again. The results part, one of the great things about the results part is this is where you can look at what's going on. This is the place where you're like, oh, dang, I don't like that result. What result do I want instead? And you can then look at what it would take anywhere in the rest of the cycle to create a new result. So that's what you do when you get to an upper limit problem. You recognize that it is an upper limit problem, that you are, for whatever reason, choosing to hold yourself back because you're afraid of shining, and you check it on, or you pick one of those areas to change. Now, my suggestion is write out a list of why you were afraid. Why am I afraid to have 100 million subscribers? 100 million? I keep getting a bigger number. But why am I afraid to have 100 subscribers? Why am I afraid to have 1,000 subscribers? Why am I afraid to have 100,000 subscribers? Why am I afraid? Now, it's not because I want you to focus on the negative, but this is an awareness activity. So you're going to write out why you're afraid so you can become aware. Why are you afraid to shine? And put those things down. Then notice of where you can on the meal cycle, change that and move forward with a higher limit or with no limits. And then once you've done that, now start focusing on why you love having 100,000 subscribers or whatever it is that you want, why you love to shine, so that you are putting yourself into the positive again. So you want to do both, but in order to become aware, you need to focus in that area for a little bit and then bring yourself out of it and focus on the positive again. Whew, so much to say. Okay, so if you learned something valuable from this video, please if it resonated with you, like this video and comment below. I want to know how you're feeling, how you feel about the whole series, how you feel about this particular video. Tell me what you learned today and why you're excited to shine, why you're excited to create what you want and live the life that you want and to start actually getting the things that you want. Let me know. And subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Push the little notification bell so that you get the notices, because the way YouTube is currently working, if you want to see my videos, you've got to subscribe with a notification, or you will probably never see it. Maybe you might see one or two of them here or there. And share the video. Share the video with somebody you love. Share the video with somebody you know that they could benefit from it. Share the creation series, the whole 6 videos, the playlist. Go ahead and share it. I'll have it linked. I don't know which corner things link at. I know one of the bottom 2 corners is my beautiful face, which is so you can subscribe. And then one of the top 2 corners will be the playlist. I will see you next time. Remember to let your soul shine live.